Hey guys, and welcome back to Jurassic Collectibles. So as you all know, I'm a big fan of Jurassic Park comics and compilations of older comics, and today we have a very special treat for you. We have an entire set of the new IDW hardback Jurassic Park comics. Now these come from Abdo Publishing, and they very kindly sent over an entire set of these comics so that we could review them on the channel. Now there's 10 altogether, and they are absolutely fantastic because they break up the comics into actual individual issues as opposed to a complete compilation. So if you're after a particular one that you remember from your childhood, then these might be good for you. So there's 10 altogether, as I said. Here's the front cover of Volume 1, and on the back you can see we've got a rundown of all the episodes. So Volume 1 is Danger, Volume 2 is called The Miracle of Cloning, and we'll go through which ones these relate to in just a second. As I said, it's a nice hardback published book with a nice laminated finish, and what's really good is that the pages inside are glossy. Okay, so let's go through the whole set first, and then we'll have a look what's inside. So if I show you just how thick these are individually, you can see actually that they're quite thin in terms of the books themselves, but that's because they're broken down into individual issues. So these would be equivalent to individual issues of the old Topps comics. So it really allows you to be selective about the issues that you would like to own, and that's quite nice. You can go through and spend a little bit of money buying one at a time and make sure that you build up your entire collection. So, issue 1, or volume 1 in this case, is the same as the Jurassic Park movie adaptation comic from Topps years ago. So for a lot of you, this will be the one that you remember buying because it was the initial one when the film came out and was really, really popular. And they've chosen to go with the old Canadian artwork cover where the raptor is looking through the slats of the cage. Next up, we've got Volume 2, The Miracle of Cloning, and this would be issue 2 of the movie adaptation comic. Very memorable and striking US original cover, and I really like the colours on this one. The bright blue really makes it stand out. Okay, Volume 3, they've actually decided to go with a Return to Jurassic Park artwork for this one, but inside the comic book is actually the issue 3 of the movie adaptation comic. So this would be the T-Rex attack, the main road attack that everyone remembers. So a very exciting issue, this one, Volume 3, Don't Move. Then we've got Volume 4, Leaving Jurassic Park, and this is actually where the Jurassic Park story wraps up. So this is the end of the movie adaptation, and the cover, they've decided to go with some comic book panels from the original comic. Probably the most striking one is Muldoon here with his gun, and in the comic they actually replaced his gun with the bazooka, which is always interesting. So that's Volume 4, Leaving Jurassic Park. And then we move on to the Raptors adaptation and continuation of the Jurassic Park story. Now these are my personal favourites, so if you haven't read these, I would definitely recommend you pick these up. This is Volume 5 and it's called Aftershocks. Then we've got Volume 6, Dark Cargo, and this is the one where Alan and Ellie have been kidnapped on board a giant plane, and there are raptors on board as well, and they're travelling away from Jurassic Park, and things go a bit awry. So definitely recommend this one. That's Volume 6, Dark Cargo. Then we've got Volume 7, Raptors Attack. So by this point the plane has crashed in the jungle, in the Amazon, and they've been kidnapped. Alan and Ellie are kidnapped by a drug baron who wants to use the raptors for his own purposes. Very, very exciting and beautiful cover artwork for this one. So that's Volume 7, Raptors Attack. Then we got Volume 8, Animals vs. Men, and really striking cover artwork. This is when the raptors are starting to be used by the drug baron for his own purposes, and yeah, it's a very dark issue, but again, really good continuation of the Jurassic Park storyline. Volume 8, Animals vs. Men. Then we've got Volume 9, Animals vs. Gods, and actually the raptors break free and run out into the jungle and come across some natives of the jungle who think they're gods. And for a while things are pretty good, but eventually things go a bit sour. So a really good read, this one, and the cover artwork again is just absolutely amazing. So that's Volume 9, Animals vs. Gods. And then we've got Volume 10, Gods versus Men, and this is really where it wraps up the Jurassic Park Raptor continuation. But these are a really good series of books, and to me, they're my favourite Jurassic Park comics that have been made, other than the movie adaptation comic books. So that's all 10, so let's get a closer look inside. Okay, so we're going to take a closer look at Gods versus Men, Volume 10. And you can see inside here we've got the lovely title page, Volume 10, Gods versus Men. And this is by Steve Englehart, Chaz Truog and Paul Frick. And this is a combination of IDW and Spotlight. And as I said, it's published by Abdo Publishing, who very kindly sent these over. Now, what you'll first notice is that unlike some of the other IDW books, the compilations, the pages are really nice and glossy, like photographic paper. And I've always wanted photographic paper versions of these comics, so I was really glad when I realised that this was done on really nice paper stock. So here you can see the title page, and again, the comic artwork that you may already be familiar with. I really like the stylization of the raptors in these later comics. They almost have a sort of a cartoony feel, but they're still very true to the design of the original velociraptors. So here's some story of Muldoon and the hunter from the earlier issues. And here's the raptors communicating with the natives, and there's Ellie and Ian Malcolm. So all of your favourite characters back from Jurassic Park for these comics, and continued on from the Jurassic Park storyline, so you can find out what happened to them after Jurassic Park. So yeah, really good quality paper stock, lovely print, and on the back page there we've just got blood spatters, very bright coloration on the back there, and that's that. So that's the Abdo Publishing, and I think these are known as the library editions as well, because they're hardback copies, so they're going to be long lasting. So if you are looking for a particular issue of the old Jurassic Park comic, I would recommend that you go out and buy one of these, because it's a good way of being selective about the issues that you'd like. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed today's look at the Jurassic Park Abdo Publishing and IDW series. I'll put Abdo Publishing's website down below so you can go and have a look for yourselves. But in the meantime, rate, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.